Hi, welcome. Today I'm going to dive into how the investing app Raise actually works. There's a bit of misconception of what it does, what it doesn't do, and how you actually set up your account and use it on a regular basis to invest money. So let's begin. Personally, I've been using Raise since it started. It launched as Acorns here in Australia back in 2016. I jumped on it pretty quickly and decided to have a crack at it. And years later, it's something I still use. I've seen my balance go up and down and change portfolios and everything. So I thought I'd run through it and show you exactly the different ways you can use it because it's not necessarily a one size fits all. There's a few different approaches you can make. And they're the things I've changed over the years. I've changed the way I've used it. Now, I'm not going to show you the sign up process because I'm already signed up, but I will explain a few things about that. What you need to do when you sign up is provide a bit of information. Now, Raise has a guide on registration, which is what you do when you sign up. There's a bit of detail in it, but basically you just need a lot of details as if you were signing up for a bank. Many of these details can be changed once you create an account. So don't be nervous about giving all your information about bank accounts or opting out or opting into things like that, picking portfolios, because as you sign up, once you complete, you can immediately go in and make changes. I'll explain Raise a bit more in detail. So the way it works is that you essentially put money into Raise and that money is then invested in ETFs, which are on the stock market. So you are investing in shares in a bit of a roundabout way. What Raise does is it makes it easier, quicker for you to do that without as much money as you normally would, say, if you were going through an online broker. So you can do that in a number of ways. You can do that through roundups, which is the way that they really try and promote the product, which is, say you buy something for $4.50, it'll round that up to $5 and invest 50 cents into your Raise account. So I'll explain how that works with the connection of your accounts in a moment. You can also do recurring investments where you just send the same amount of money into the app on a regular basis, like you would a savings account. So $500 a month or $100 a week, you can just set that up through the app so you can just build and build and build. And that's one of the main ways I've used Raise over the years to grow a bit of a portfolio. Then there's also the option of dumping in a lump sum of money and say you've got an inheritance or you've just got a tax return and you want to put that money to work beyond a savings account, you can put that money into Raise and walk away. So there's not to say you have to do more than one of these options here. Like I said, Raise really promote the roundup option, but I found that recurring investments is a great way to grow a portfolio because roundups, look, they're cents to a dollar. So like I said, you put in 50 cents in at a time. Recurring investments are really where it's at. And if you have the opportunity to do lump sum, that's also going to boost your ability to grow a portfolio within Raise. Also with Raise, once you decide how you want to put money into it, you need to decide which portfolio you pick. Now, I won't talk too much about this because I've got a separate article and a video on how to pick a portfolio. You can chop and change as much as you like. So you can sign up with one portfolio, immediately change to another. And then as you go through over time, you can change back and forward. There's also a great option, which I use, which is building a custom portfolio. And you can put which ETFs you specifically want into that portfolio. So it gives you a bit more control over what you're investing in. So you can jump across to that video and look more as to what all the different portfolio options are. There are a few other features in Raise as well. They're the two core components of it. Putting money into your account, deciding what your money is going to be invested in. Very similar to a super fund, except you can access it obviously before you retire. So I'll jump into the platform now. Now, this is my dashboard. This is my experience. So currently I've just got this balance and I've invested in a custom portfolio. Now, some certain features that I'll point out, and like I was just talking about before, the way you invest money. So this is the desktop experience. It's a bit different on the app, but for the sake of this video, I just wanted to run through the desktop experience. On the left-hand menu or in the app, just tap on invest. You can decide how you want to add your money to this account. You can do one-off investments, which is any amount you like, really. You just type in whatever amount and you can click on invest. And the money gets transferred from an account, which you'll set up. I'll show you how to set that up in a moment. You can also withdraw money from here, so I can take out all my balance. You should note though that this is not as quick as a bank. So you cannot click withdraw and get your money as if it was just a bank transfer. It's going to take a few days because they've got to sell the shares and then wait a couple of days for that transaction to complete and then transfer the money out to it. So I would say wait a week or expect a week for your money to appear in your bank account. If you wanted to set up a recurring investment, as in a way to send money to Raise on a regular basis, you would go down here and you would set up a savings goal, or you don't have to set up a savings goal. You can just put in the amount that you want to send on a regular basis and which day of the week. You have the option there, and that is set up. I have now got a weekly investment of $100 being set into Raise. And that money all comes from your funding account. So money that gets added to your Raise account comes from your funding account. So when you sign up to Raise, you get asked for a funding account and you can put those bank details in through that process there. What that means is when you invest in Raise, when you click on the investment button and set up a recurring investment, or you do a one-off investment, that money would come from what's called the funding account. So whatever you set up here is where the money comes from. Your fees will also be taken out of this funding account as well. Raises $3.50 to $4.50 a month, depending on your balance. It can increase if you have a balance of over $15,000. So that money all comes from your funding account. That is different though to your spending account. So if you were setting up Raise roundups, as in money is rounded up based on how you spend. So again, the coffee example, if you spend $4.50 on a coffee, your round up feature will determine that 50 cents should be taken from that purchase. So it rounds it up to $5. That's the concept of the roundups. So what you're spending, so Raise will track your spending account. So every time you make purchases like that, it will note what you've been spending and what that roundup amount is. So it doesn't actually take money from your spending account. It'll take money from your funding account. You can determine how roundups work. So if you buy something that's $5, you can actually need to determine how much extra, whether you want to round that up to a certain amount or not. Automatically round up money as you spend it. Okay, so this is the one that is worth noting, Smart Roundup. So say you round up a coffee from $4.50, $5, that's only 50 cents that's put aside for your money. That money won't be immediately taken from your account. Raise will wait until that money is accumulated to a certain balance. And you can set what that balance is now. So for example, $5, $10, $20. So if you set it as $20, which I think was the default, what that means is you will have to accumulate a total of $20 before Raise will take money out of your funding account to put towards its investment. So it's not to say every time you make a purchase, money will keep going to Raise. It's over time. You can determine the amount here that it's set up as. $20 is a good amount. So it's a good sort of set of training wheels for you to think about the process of investing. And that's what I did when I initially started. I did use the roundup feature. I did find it a bit too erratic in terms of when money would come out. So then I just moved to a more recurring basis where I just put a regular amount into the account there. What you can also look at is your past and your future. Like I said, here's my dashboard. But if you go back to the past, you'll be able to see all the investments and the history of money coming in. You do get dividends from Raise. They get reinvested into your account. So as you see here, I received a few dividends recently. If I click on that, you can see where they get reinvested to. So the way Raise works is that it spreads your money across a multitude of ETFs, whether that's through a portfolio that they pre-built or a custom portfolio. Every time you put money into your account, it'll get spread across those ETFs. So I'll go to a better example. Here we go. So $10 came in earlier in the year, and you can see that $2 went to this ETF, $3.30 went to this ETF, 70 cents went to another one, and $4 went to this cash ETF. So you can see how much of that share you bought just by transferring that money. 0.08 of a share was invested in. And that's the beauty of Raise. One of the fantastic features of it is that you do not need to buy the full share to invest. So previously, or if you'd have invest directly in the ASX or an online broker, you would need to own the full amount of that stock before you can invest in it. So for example, IOs costs over $100 a share. So you would need $100 at least to be able to invest in that through a traditional means. But through Raise, put $2 in. Actually, I think the minimum's $5, but you put that $5 in and you can then invest a series of ETFs. That is really the core aspect of Raise. A great way to use Raise that I've been doing for a number of years is really just setting up your investing means, whether that be roundups or recurring investments, and then just leaving it. You don't even need the app on your phone. You can just have this set up like a transfer and just let it set and forget, and then check in every month or every now and then to see how it goes. There are some additional features. I do not use them because I don't find them that valuable. There's Raise Rewards where you get some cash back invested into your account if you spend through these partners that they have. I've maybe done this once. There's surveys and things you can do. So I guess if you're buying things through these companies anyway, it might be useful. Aimer, buy a gift card and 4.55% of that purchase goes back into your account. Great. If that's your thing. Raise has super. I've never been keen on their super option. The product disclosure is all here. It's essentially super. Your superannuation invest in the same Raise products that you use through the app. There's the ability to put in your financials. I don't use this either. I don't think it's of that valuable to me. You can invite your friends. If you look in the future tab, that is where you determine what your money is invested in, and you can go to your portfolios there and the different ones. Again, I've got a video and article on that. So that is the deep dive for this area. Apart from that, that is really it. It's all about how, for me, and for someone who's actually grown a fair bit of money through Raise, the key components are how are you going to add money to this and how often are you going to do it? So think about whether you want to use roundups, whether you want to use these recurring investments, or whether you want to do lump sums every tax time or when money comes in if you do receive it irregularly. That's it for today. Hope that's of help because I find Raise an amazing tool, especially if you want to start investing with a little money and learn how investing in the stock market works. So happy investing.